Have you ever found yourself regretting something you said in the heat of the moment? Whether it was a harsh word spoken out of frustration or a plea for validation that left you feeling empty, our words carry more weight than we realize. In the world of Stoicism, mastering your speech is more than just choosing the right words. It's about shaping your entire mindset and approach to life. Today, we'll explore the 4 things you should never say if you want to embrace a Stoic mindset and unlock a new level of mental clarity and resilience. Think of your words like the rudder of a ship. One wrong move, and you're veering off course. But with the right guidance, you can steer your life toward calm waters, no matter how stormy it gets. Stick with me through this journey, and by the end of this video, you'll have practical tools to navigate life's toughest conversations without losing control. And if you're excited to take your first step towards Stoic mastery, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with someone who could benefit from these insights. But that's just the beginning. What if I told you that the very act of complaining can rob you of your peace of mind? We'll dive into why Stoics avoid certain phrases and how mastering your speech can transform not only your relationships, but your inner world as well. Stay tuned, because the second point will challenge the way you think about seeking validation. And trust me, it's a game changer. Now, let's get started on this powerful journey to mastering your words, building resilience, and embracing the Stoic way of life. 1. Never complain about what you can't control. Imagine this. You're standing in line at the grocery store, and the cashier is taking forever to ring up the customer in front of you. Frustration bubbles up. Maybe you're in a hurry or just annoyed by the slow pace. Now, what's the first thing that pops into your mind? A complaint, right? But let me ask you this. Will complaining get you to the front of the line any faster? In the grand scheme of things, does it change anything at all? Stoics, from Marcus Aurelius to Epictetus, teach that complaining about circumstances beyond our control is not only pointless, but damaging to our inner peace. They believed that by focusing on what we can control, our reactions, our mindset, we free ourselves from the frustration of trying to change what's unchangeable. Think about it. When was the last time you complained about something? Did it fix the problem, or did it just make you feel more irritated? Next time you find yourself in a situation where complaining feels like the natural response, pause and ask yourself, can I do anything about this right now? If the answer is no, channel your energy into something more productive. This mental shift can turn an otherwise aggravating moment into an opportunity for personal growth. This is where Stoic resilience shines, learning to accept things as they are while focusing on what we can influence. Here's the key takeaway. Complaints don't solve problems, they amplify them. Stoics realized that by mastering their reactions, they could weather life's inevitable challenges with grace and dignity. And when you start practicing this, you'll notice a significant difference in how you approach everyday annoyances, whether it's a traffic jam, a delayed flight, or an unexpected life setback. But here's the twist. Complaining isn't just about external circumstances. Sometimes it's about deeper frustrations with ourselves and the world around us. In the next section, we'll dive into another common pitfall, seeking validation from others. Trust me, this one will really make you rethink the way you approach your self-worth. Stay tuned. 2. Don't seek validation from others. Picture this. You've just finished a big project at work, and you're anxiously awaiting feedback. The first thing you do, you ask your colleague, "Do you think I did a good job?" Sounds familiar, right? But here's the problem. By seeking validation from others, you're giving them control over how you feel about yourself. This constant need for approval can leave you feeling empty, especially if the praise isn't forthcoming. The Stoics had a different approach. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, often wrote about the dangers of relying on external opinions to shape our self-worth. For the Stoics, true contentment and peace come from within. Seeking validation from others means you're handing over your happiness and sense of self to something or someone you can't control. Ask yourself, how often do I find myself relying on others to affirm my worth? Is it really necessary, or is it just a habit I've fallen into? Here's the shift. Stoics believe that the only approval that truly matters is your own. Instead of constantly searching for external validation, they focused on living according to their own values and principles. The next time you're about to ask someone for their opinion, pause and reflect. Have you acted in line with your principles? If the answer is yes, that should be validation enough. In fact, constantly seeking approval can become a trap. You start tailoring your actions to please others instead of living authentically. Think about it. How much of your life is shaped by what you believe others think of you? The truth is, most people are far too busy thinking about themselves to be constantly scrutinizing your actions. So why let their opinions dictate your sense of worth? Now here's where it gets interesting. What if you could free yourself from the endless chase for approval? In the next section, we'll discuss another emotional pitfall that Stoicism helps us avoid: speaking in anger. If you've ever said something you wish you could take back, this next part is for you. Stay with me. You won't want to miss it. 3. Never speak in anger. Have you ever had one of those moments where you say something out of anger, only to regret it the second it leaves your mouth? It's a feeling we've all experienced. Those words that burn bridges, wound relationships, or even sabotage our own peace. The Stoics understood this all too well. Seneca, a famous Stoic philosopher, once said, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." In other words, when emotions are running high, it's crucial to pause before reacting. This simple act of self-restraint can prevent a lot of unnecessary damage. Imagine being in a heated argument with someone you care about. At that moment, your mind is clouded by frustration, and all you want to do is retaliate with sharp words. But here's the Stoic twist. Giving in to that anger only hands over your power to the other person. By reacting emotionally, you allow the situation to control you instead of the other way around. The Stoics believed that while you can't control what happens to you, you can always control how you respond. This is why they placed so much importance on mastering emotional responses, especially in moments of anger. Here's a practical exercise. The next time someone cuts you off in traffic or says something that irritates you, take a deep breath and count to 10. In that brief pause, you'll find clarity. Suddenly, that urge to snap back diminishes, and you're able to respond with calmness and reason. It's in that pause that your power lies. Now, don't get me wrong. This doesn't mean suppressing your emotions entirely. The Stoics weren't about bottling things up. They emphasized understanding your feelings, but not letting them dictate your actions. Think of it like this. Your emotions are passengers in your car, but you're still the one driving. Don't let anger grab the wheel. But here's where things get really interesting. Did you know that the words you say in anger can also affect you physically? Studies show that expressing anger increases stress hormones, which not only impacts your mental health, but also your physical well-being. This is another reason the Stoics advised against letting anger control you. It's not just about what you say to others, but how it affects your own body and mind. So, the next time you feel the heat rising, remember Seneca's words and delay your response. By doing this, you'll not only protect your relationships, but also safeguard your peace of mind. In the next section, we'll explore how avoiding self-pity can drastically change the way you approach life's challenges. Trust me, this one's a game changer. Stick around. 4. Avoid words of self-pity. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you caught yourself thinking, why does this always happen to me? We've all had those moments of feeling down, where life just seems unfair, and self-pity starts to creep in. But here's the truth. Stoics viewed self-pity as one of the most counterproductive habits we can develop. Why? Because every time you indulge in self-pity, you're choosing to dwell on what's gone wrong instead of focusing on how to move forward. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." And this is exactly why self-pity is so dangerous. When you constantly focus on how unfair life is or how bad your circumstances are, you're giving away your power. You're turning yourself into a passive victim of your own life rather than an active participant. Think about it. Imagine you're in a difficult situation. Maybe you've just lost your job or failed at something important. You have two choices. You can wallow in self-pity, saying things like, "This is so unfair, why me?" Or you can choose to reframe the situation and ask, "What can I learn from this?" The first approach leads you into a downward spiral of negativity, while the second opens the door to growth and resilience. Here's a relatable example. Have you ever noticed how some people, despite facing significant setbacks, seem to bounce back even stronger? That's not luck, that's mindset. Stoics believed that adversity is inevitable, but suffering is optional. When you train your mind to avoid self-pity, you begin to see every challenge as an opportunity to become more resilient. It's not about ignoring the difficulties, but about refusing to let them define you. But here's where it gets interesting. Self-pity not only affects your mindset, but it can also influence how others perceive you. Constantly voicing your complaints or frustrations can push people away, making them less likely to support or help you when you need it most. Stoics understood the importance of maintaining dignity, even in hardship, to attract the right kind of relationships and opportunities. And just like with anger, refraining from self-pity takes practice. The next time something doesn't go your way, pause and ask yourself, am I focusing on the problem, or am I seeking the solution? That simple question can shift your entire perspective and lead you toward action rather than inaction. Now that we've covered the 4 things you should never say if you want to adopt a Stoic mindset, let's wrap it up with some final takeaways and practical applications for your daily life. Stay with me. You won't want to miss this conclusion. So, what have we learned today? From avoiding complaints about things we can't control to letting go of the need for validation, we've explored how the Stoic mindset helps us gain power over our words and ultimately over our lives. Every time you speak, you're either reinforcing your own growth or holding yourself back. The Stoics knew that by mastering your words, you could navigate life's challenges with resilience, grace, and wisdom. Think back to the times when anger or self-pity got the best of you. Now imagine how different those moments would have been if you had practiced Stoic restraint and refocused your energy on what truly matters. That's the beauty of Stoicism. It's not about perfection, but progress. Every time you choose to respond with intention instead of reacting impulsively, you take one step closer to becoming the person you truly want to be. As you go about your day, remember, Your words are powerful. They shape your reality, your relationships, and your mindset. And as the Stoics taught us, we always have control over how we choose to speak. So, take these lessons with you. Stop complaining, seek validation from within, speak calmly, and leave self-pity behind. If this video gave you a fresh perspective on how Stoicism can guide your life, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment sharing which of these lessons resonates most with you, and don't forget to share this video with someone who could benefit from these insights. Your support helps grow this community of people committed to living with purpose and resilience. Until next time, stay strong, stay focused, and remember, your words are your power. Make them count.